The music provided for this episode of the Tom Retro Chronicle is brought to you by the song called Song of Old by the band called Spec. To check out more PodSafe music, check out dig.ccmixter.org. Get it. Get it, boy. A 1, a 2, a 3, 4, 5. It is the Tom Retro Chronicle with your host called Tom Retro.
Looking good, baby!
Tom Retro is also known as the Retro Guy and has a very interesting angle on things like sports, music, movies, books, and pretty much mostly life. He has a WordPress account, a very funny Twitter account, and overall a very interesting guy. Yeah. And also has very interesting interviews like me, Arnold Schwarzenegger, yeah. So let's head it to our very own very special host called Tom Retro. Yes, getting a little bit of some of that laid-back instrumental music going on here in this episode of the Tom Retro Chronicle, episode 15 of the Tom Retro Chronicle, I believe. Sorry, I should really keep track of my episode titles, I suppose, but this is episode 15 of the Tom Retro Chronicle, and welcome back, folks. This is my day off, so this will be pretty much my first day off. I will be having another day off on Saturday, which means that I believe that the Packers will be playing on Saturday night. I believe it's to be against the 49ers, so I can't wait for that. As for today, I'm pretty much the music pretty much just fit right in line with what I was trying to feel like. But in general, it's pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good right now. It's so yeah. So I got a couple of some stuff that I want to talk about. I'm declaring this episode to be called The Aftermath, which is the title of the what happened last night. And good lord, a lot of things happened last night, especially if you're an Irish fan like me. Oh god, that game was awful. Oh man. So I'll be talking about that, my thoughts on that, and basically overall the whole entire season and all that kind of stuff. Then I'll be talking about some playoff stuff, NFL playoffs, and then probably something else, maybe. Let's see. I don't know. I've been pretty laid back so far today, so it's been pretty good. Been a pretty good day off. And I'm pretty much taping this right now on basically a mostly cloudy day. It was sunny out earlier, but somehow or another it started to cloud back up again. But it's one of those. It's like one of those winter days when it's mostly cloudy and then some sun peeks out and then it's back to cloudy again. It's just one of those days. So, oh well. It's in terms of January. January in Fargo is usually pretty much the most coldest month of the year. But it's actually pretty much. I believe it's 30 degrees out right now. It's really mild. It's pretty good. It's 31, so it's almost above freezing. Almost. So yeah, I got pretty much those two things to talk about. I guess I don't know. But first, let's start off with the first topic. Well, time to talk about last night's game. Well, I don't know. To tell you the truth, To tell you the truth, it was kind of more it was kind of somewhat expected that Alabama would have won anyway. But you know, coming into the game, I was working. Yes, I know. I thought maybe it might have been a good sign or a bad sign that I was working for pretty much most of the game while the game was going on still. So, uh, basically, what I thought was, if if it was to be a good sign that I was working, then Alabama um, would be down some sort of margin, or it would have been a good sign that I wouldn't have had to watch the horrible game that was what it was last night. So I don't know. When I got out of work, um, it was about halfway through the third quarter, and pretty much by that time it was pretty much already locked up. It was like 28-0 when I got out of work, which was sometime. I guess it was about like I think there was like 6 minutes left in the game. So overall, my overall thoughts of the game, going into that, I was honestly not that surprised. I mean, the SEC, as much as I hate the SEC, they are the best conference in the country right now, bar none. I thought Notre Dame had a chance. Nope, absolutely. They had very little chance of it. Essentially, the biggest weakness that I thought Alabama could have had was their offensive line, um, giving our defense a field day. I thought if our front seven disrupts the offensive line of the Alabama and sack AJ McCarron of the Crimson Tide, then we would have a chance in that game. But that was not even close to the case. Absolutely not. Um, Essentially, by halftime, it's already over. Actually, by the time the first quarter was done, it was basically over. Basically, the SEC is faster, stronger, um, more intelligent than basically any other conference in college football. And Notre Dame couldn't stay with them. They even if even if Notre Dame played Alabama again, they wouldn't have won it. Maybe 5 years ago, before Nick Saban was the head coach of the Crimson Tide, maybe Notre Dame would have had a chance. But Notre Dame was pretty much down during that time 5 years ago, 6 years ago, back when Charlie Weiss, and I absolutely hate Charlie Weiss, but um, I don't hate him as like a person, but he had to go. But anyway, back to the subject. But essentially, I wasn't too surprised by it. To be honest with you, I was glad. I was glad for the opportunity that me as an Irish fan got to see my team play in a national championship. I mean, the last time Notre Dame was in the national championship, I was barely even existed. I barely existed back in 1988 when they had to face West Virginia in the 1988 national championship game, and they won. So, um, my overall thoughts on the team itself. I thought Golson had a pretty decent game. 21 for 36 for 270 yards with a touchdown interception. Um, it wasn't that great of a performance, but as a freshman, looking at it, he's probably the best. He's probably been the best thing to happen to us for a long time. I mean, he's a freshman. He's bound to get better pretty soon, sooner or later. So I wasn't too disappointed with the interception, but asking him to do that much against the vaunted Crimson Tide defense, you honestly can't really ask for much more than that. I mean, a touchdown. It's fine, but you know what? I'm cool with it. But the only big problem that I had was our running game. Theo Riddick and Sierra Wood barely did nothing in that game. I don't know. Here's a stat line for you. Theo Riddick had 10 attempts for 37 yards, and the longest was 20 yards. And Sierra Wood had 4 rushes for 2 yards, and the longest one was 7 yards. So that pretty much means that he lost quite a bit of yards. Our starter receiving had a decent game. Daniels had 6 catches for 115 yards. Jones had 7 catches for 90 yards. Tyler Eifert, 6 catches for 61 yards. So it wasn't that bad of a performance, but so overall, this has to be for the Irish, it has to be a good sign. I mean, we were unranked going into the preseason. We took down Oklahoma in their own backyard, and then I don't know. Personally, I think Notre Dame is back. And then going to see but for the Crimson Tide, they have to be the best. They have to be the best college football program of all time. I mean, think about it. They're a dynasty right now. They've won 3 titles in 4 years. 3 titles in 4 years. AJ McCarron is pretty much God over there. Eddie Lacy and TJ Yeldon were great. They were great. No question about it. They honestly deserved the title. As much as I hate Nick Saban, I don't hate his. Actually, maybe I do hate his guts, but you gotta respect the guy. I mean, he's to take that program to where it is right now, with the competition, with the high competition that the SEC has over there. You have to give credit when credit is due. They're great. I mean, the SEC is. I think the SEC is currently in at least a good. Has at least a good 4 or 5 years left in the tank to keep on doing what they're doing, which is to win national titles. And they've won 7 straight national titles as a conference, going back to 2006 with Florida. Actually, it might have been 2007, but here's the thing: their SEC is good. They're great. So, So, taking a look at thinking about going into next season. I think as an Irish fan, you have to look good. I mean, I'm feeling optimistic about this team right now. They should be at least ranked in the top 10, maybe top 15, easily top 15 right now. Um, I don't think they deserve to be in the top 5, but definitely top 10. I think some other teams deserve to be a little bit more ranked higher than us. Oregon deserves to be a little bit ranked higher than us. Louisville deserves to be a little bit ranked higher than they are, but we definitely deserve to be ranked. No question about that. So anyway, congratulations to the Crimson Tide. You are the best program out there in the country right now. But Notre Dame is back. Trust me. Okay. On to the next subject. So wild card weekend wasn't all that special, so to say. I was basically 2-2 in wild card matchups. I made the good pick for Green Bay won, which I picked. I picked Cincinnati to beat the Texans. That didn't go over so well. Indianapolis, I think I picked Baltimore to beat the Colts. And then I picked Washington to beat Seattle, but that wasn't quite a good prediction, I suppose. But I think the first thing I'm going to talk about is so for the Minnesota Green Bay game, here's the thing with Vikings fans. They have so many. They like to throw. I'm not saying all Vikings fans do this, but certainly quite a few of them do this. Before the game, Christian Ponder of the Vikings. So Christian Ponder before the game gets ruled out due to I believe it was like a elbow injury or something like that. He was ruled out for the game, and here's what I love about. Yep, here's what I love about Vikings fans. Excuse me. They always like to say that Christian Ponder sucks. We should play Joe Webb, and then reverse logic says we lost because we didn't have Christian Ponder in the game. It's just reverse logic, and then honestly, Christian Ponder is a decent quarterback. He needs to have a chance. He throws interceptions. So what? He can only get better. I mean, he's a second-year quarterback. I think another reason is why the Vikings failed so much was because of certainly it was AP's team, no question about it, but Adrian Peterson couldn't take that team on his shoulders. I mean, AP was pretty much the only great player that they had for that game. And basically, the Vikings lack a really good receiving core outside of essentially, they essentially became pretty much the Washington Generals without Percy Harvin. I mean, they're just not that good. I mean, they're just not good with that offense. I mean, their defense. I mean, their defense is pretty good. Maybe good, but I'm not. I wouldn't say that they're great. But to be honest with you, it's um. See, here's some more Vikings fan logic. Uh, let's see. They pretty much never get. They never give Christian Ponder a chance. Certainly, a lot of fans are a little bit more patient with Christian Ponder, but it's the ones that say, "Oh, Christian Ponder sucks. He throws interceptions, and then when it gets good, the Vikings fans are like, oh my God, we love Christian Ponder. Yay, we love him so much." And essentially the same person. It's kind of stupid. It's stupid. It's idiotic. It kind of makes you look more. It makes you look a little bit more foolish than you are. Okay, seriously. All right. Well, I'm pretty much done with that game. So, Cincinnati, Houston. This was kind of more of an interesting pick for me to take. Certainly, I thought the Bengals had a defense that could be reckoned with. Certainly, an offense that would keep in pace with the Texans, and it was actually a really close game. It pretty much right down to the fourth quarter. It was pretty much a 6-point game at the end of it. So if you're a Texans fan, you're kind of pretty lucky to escape that game. I mean, it was pretty good. I mean, it was a pretty good game. I'm not saying it was a bad game, but certainly gives you a little bit more hope as a Texans fan. Certainly your defense got a lot better in that game. A little bit more alert, a little bit more hungry. Essentially, that team is a hungry team, so to speak. So, and essentially, Houston hasn't won, Cincinnati hasn't won a playoff game since 1990. Now, here's how old I was. Here's how old I was in 1990. I was 1 year old, probably about around that time, 1990. I was, let's see, probably about 1 year old, 2 year old. So perhaps maybe another time. I think for a Bengals fan, you're looking pretty good right now. I mean, the Steelers were down. Eventually, the Ravens are going to take a step back. Cleveland's going to kind of take a little bit of a step forward. That division's starting to look really good for the Bengals, I think. So there's certainly a little bit some hope. So if you're a Bengals fan, the third game, Indianapolis and Baltimore. Pretty much a playoff debut of Andrew Luck, and it didn't go so well for Andrew Luck at all. So certainly if it wasn't for Ray Lewis's inspirational speech that pretty much got everyone going on a tear. In case you haven't heard, Ray Lewis is going to be retiring after this season, so certainly you can probably expect the Ravens to play inspired football and to beat their competition and go to a Super Bowl and basically lead basically take Ray Lewis on its shoulders, and lead them to the promised land, to New Orleans on February 3rd, I think it was. Yeah, I think it's February 3rd. The Super Bowl starts. 47. So anyway, I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was a pretty good game for a Ravens fan. Joe Flacco was pretty good in the playoffs. I mean, he hasn't been to a Super Bowl yet, but you know what? It's definitely looking good. But I don't know. Anyway, back to the fourth game. I'm watching. Pardon the interruption right now. And I'm watching the Ray Lewis's dance. It's pretty saucy. um, Seattle and Washington, easily the best game of the week. You had the battle of the rookies, RG3 versus Russell Wilson, and certainly Russell Wilson got the last laugh in the end of the game. Then you had Robert Griffin III injuring himself again. It was essentially, if you take RG3 out of that equation, the Redskins become a little bit more of a less dangerous threat, I suppose. But so yes, I did pick Washington to win that game because I hate Seattle's guts. I can't stand Seattle. I can't stand the fact that they got handed the game against the scab refs back earlier in the regular season, and I want my revenge, and hopefully I will get it pretty soon. As soon as we beat San Francisco, and then when they beat Atlanta, we will basically get to face off in Lambeau Field for the NFC title game, and we will knock their socks off. Basically trash them in our place and don't show their faces ever here again. So anyway, that was a pretty good lead into going into the playoff picture of the divisional playoffs, which is, it's my opinion's the best week of the playoffs. Certainly, a lot of people say that wild card is the best part of the playoffs, but I don't know. I like divisional playoffs. So you have 4 matchups. 2 on Saturday and 2 on Sunday. Then you have the conference championship games week after that, and then you have the Super Bowl 2 weeks later, and then the Pro Bowl. But I'll talk about the Pro Bowl later. But I don't really want to talk about the Pro Bowl right now. But first off, you have Baltimore at Denver. Pretty much a regular season match, a rematch of a game that happened about a couple weeks ago, and basically the Broncos knocked the Ravens off their ass, pretty much in their own field, I think. And it was the week when Cam Cameron was sacked as offensive coordinator for the Ravens. So anyway. I'm thinking about going with the Broncos in that one. I'm not really seeing the Ravens winning that one. Certainly, the Ravens can really conjure up the crazy, inspirational speech of Ray Lewis. Perhaps maybe they might get inspired by it. Who knows? But I think I'll take the Broncos in this one. See, Green Bay at San Francisco. Um, let's see here. Um, Once again, this is also a regular season rematch of Week 1. Pretty much a tale of two teams with these two. You have San Francisco with the new rookie core. Actually, maybe is Colin Kaepernick a rookie? I think Kaepernick's a rookie, but I don't know. I wouldn't know about that. But and then you have Green Bay looking to play inspired football because they're pretty much the team just like last 2 years ago. 2 years ago when they won Super Bowl, won it all. And I think I'm gonna take. I don't know. I like Green Bay. I think I'm gonna take Green Bay in this one. So, and then the Sunday matchups, you have Seattle, Atlanta. I don't know. I think Atlanta. I'm gonna take Atlanta in this one. I think they've learned their lesson in the divisional playoff games. I think they'll be awake for this one. I think they'll be ready to tackle whatever problems that they have against this team in Seattle, and I think Atlanta will win it. And then the fourth and final game of the divisional playoff is Houston at New England, which could be a pretty good one. Once again, it's also a regular season rematch. New England kicked the tar out of Houston. I think I'll take New England still in this one. So, still liking this one. So, anyway. So I think I'm gonna still take New England in this one. So, anyway, on to the next topic. I think so. Hopefully, those teams will win it all. I think win it all this coming week. So anyway, on to the next topic. Well, so it's pretty much the 8th of January, which now that college football is pretty much over, and then you have the rest of the NFL playoffs are coming up, and then you have college basketball to start to heat up pretty soon with the conference slate of games currently going on. And then you have baseball coming up in about a month or so when pitchers and catchers report into their various spring training facilities. But here's the thing: the NHL is back. Essentially, about a couple days ago, the NHL finally came up with a plan which was about 50-50 for the players and owners. And essentially on January 19th, it's essentially a 48 game season, which is pretty good. I mean, since the season actually starts back in October, which is absolutely stupid. Since there's barely any snow on the ground around October. So So the NHL is back, and honestly, I'm honestly not really. I'm honestly not really all that excited about hockey right now. It's it's just sad. It's I mean, I'm a hockey fan. I love hockey. It's just I don't know if it's too late. I don't know if it's I don't know if it's already too late for me to actually get interested in hockey. I mean I was more prepared to have a no hockey season, and all of a sudden this happens, and this is pretty much I don't know what to think about it. It's just it's just sad. Back in October, I was certainly more ready for hockey to start. And then when the lockout took place, I was more inclined to look to somewhere else to get my fill of sports. And certainly the NBA did that for me. It made me more excited. It made me more excited to watch basketball again, and it was more of a deterrent to actually get into NBA again. And while the owners and players were bickering at each other, the NBA was probably more stronger than ever. It's actually looking a lot better. But here's the thing. Here's the thing with the NHL lockout. They spend all this time from essentially October to basically January, which is a good 3-4 months, bickering at each other about how much each side should get. They were more open to getting 55-45 in favor of the owners. And then you have, and essentially once the collective bargaining agreement was pretty much done and finalized, it was basically a 50-50 split. And good lord, it's stupid. It's not stupid the fact that, but they could have just been like, you know what? We're fine. We're fine with 50-50 split. They should have decided on a 50-50 split back in October when the season was still somewhat important, and then it's pretty much all screwed up. So I don't know. It's gonna take me a little bit. Take me a long time. It's gonna take me a long time to actually get back into hockey. But I don't know. I guess as a Minnesota Wild fan, I'm pretty excited. I mean, before the lockout happened, the Wild were stocking up on players with like Zach Parise, who used to be with Washington, I believe. And I think our team is starting to look pretty good right now. I think a lot of teams in Western Conference in the NHL is starting to look at the Kings and they want to overthrow them. Certainly, you have the Red Wings, and the Blackhawks, and then you have the Stars, and pretty much any other team that wants to have LA's throat will be pretty much the best team in the conference. So I don't know, the East. I haven't really paid attention to the Eastern Conference. I actually haven't really been paying attention to the NHL for a long time. Since since basically the whole season went into lockout. It's sad, but I don't know. It just sucks. But anyway, let's get into a little bit of some happy mood right now. I think. Oh wow, wow! I actually have a voicemail from. Let's see who's the voicemail from. Let's see. Let's see here. Oh wow, wow! Steven Seagal actually called into the show. Holy cow! Really? Wow. Let's see. What was the day? Oh, it was yesterday you sent that. Wow, I didn't even notice that. Let's see here. Let's play the tape. See what happens. See what happens with it. Yes. Hi, this is Steven Seagal. Just wanted to say what's up. Um, I hope I have the right number. But is this Pizza Hut? Um, I want a large pepperoni pizza, thin crust pepperoni pizza because I'm Steven Seagal. I I want to keep up with my managed figure. Oh wait, this is not Pizza Hut. Excuse me. But whose number is this? Oh, this is is this a Tom Retro Chronicle? Oh, this is a Tom Retro Chronicle. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. How's it going, Tom? Upon I'm here to call you about a mutual friend here, who is Sean Pereira. You know, Sean is a pretty cool friend of mine. He likes to do fun stuff with you. So I've heard, but I've heard he's a pretty good friend. So if you want to talk about some stuff like my movies and such, just just call me. I hear you always have Arnold on your show. I mean, he must be a pretty cool guy, I suppose, but you definitely need some of the Seagal action on your show. Just call me anytime you want, brother, and we will get it down. Okay? Alright. I'll have to see what kind of number Pizza Hut here is in this phone book. But anyway, I'll gonna catch you later, Tom. Talk to you later. Bye. Yo, how's it going? Wow, that was pretty cool. I honestly never expected Steven Seagal to like this show. It's actually pretty cool. They actually mentioned Sean's name, like it was pretty cool. But anyway, so it was pretty cool to actually like this show, and he mentioned Sean's name, and then so I'll definitely think about trying to get my people to talk to his people, and then we can do something up and talk about it. I'm not sure if that was like his real voice or not, but who knows? But who knows? But so anyway, I'll probably talk to you guys maybe next week in terms of a new episode of the Tom Retro Chronicle. Looking forward to doing episode 16 of the show. Probably it's gonna be maybe either on Saturday or probably sometime next week. We'll have to see what happens with it. So until next time, adios, peace out, and have a good rest of your week. Laters.